100%.
Trolling, bro. We're having an actual conversation.
Stop attention seeking and shut the fuck
For
off.
real.
Please stop. Typically opinionated. Please stop.
I'm
Please
just
stop.
gonna turn him the fuck down.
Dear Lord.
The only thing I heard was like when he's gonna be reaching for the knife to kind of stab me. That's wild.
Yeah, by the way, Americans, that's worried about you, by the way.
I'm saying that I was there. I'm saying that I was there, right? I'm saying
you're
I
a
was
psychopath.
No, I'm not a psychopath. The problem is that when you're a kid and your prefrontal cortex isn't fully developed, you start having these ideas of vengeance. You start thinking, man, I really want to. Not you, you idiot! Not you! Not you! Your child! Your poor child!
Amender, you need to stop yelling. Calm down before you give yourself a heart attack, okay?
Oh my god!
Respected lady, do you want to answer to your initial question? I'm ready to give you.
Dredd is trying to say something
like this.
Dredd is trying to say. What are you trying to say, Dredd?
I've definitely been through actions like that as a child, and I never thought of harming my parents.
Dude, with the bizarre ass punishments that I would get from my stepmom, I mean, these weren't things that didn't walk through my head. Thankfully, nothing.
What is bizarre?
Never did anything like that.
Give us an example of these bizarre punishments.
Weren't there like the Menendez twins that like killed their parents? Like, it's
but do you understand what the Menendez twins did to
situations
their parents? Didn't do anything to them.
Patricide or whatever it is.
Right, so respected
the twins that he's talking about, they didn't get no type of punishment.
I thought somebody said like the number happens, and I'm like, well, no, it
no, it definitely happens. It's just
okay.
Not all the time.
I thought I heard somebody say that doesn't happen.
America,
that's why I was
real question. What happens if your child just refused to do the thing? Are you just going to keep him in the parking lot forever?
He's not going to refuse to do the thing.
So how are you going to force his hand then?
With this big ass stick.
I'm going to show him, look, I'm going to put the tire myself and say, all right, there you go. This is what you're going to do. And yeah, he's going to do it.
Why don't you just turn around and say, fuck you, and then just walks off?
Oh, a good old ask about what happened then.
And then you got to teach him respect.
There's the mask off.
What mask? There was never a mask.
Slapping. Much of a problem after they start to get older. You do what I did with my nephew after I merely soft mate, was a bit, soft on him. Said, finally, Lex, do what you do. You know what I did to that kid? I know full well I haven't got the capacity to be able to encourage him or structure him in a disciplined environment as well as a certain place that I went to. So I dragged him into MMA. He spent the better part of a month and a half around that fucking structured environment, and now he's doing okay. Now he goes to high school and he's a hell of a lot more active. He quit the MMA thing, but he hung around like a lot of structured fucking adults and a lot of men in that framework, and I think that did him a lot of good. Because kids are, at the end of the day, sponges, and not every time do we think in our heads, can we provide the structured outcome that we're looking to do with them? Sometimes we've got to be brave enough to stick them in a certain environment for them to be able to absorb those positive things we're trying to address into them.
Yeah, I think outside in the
send him to military school, send him to boxing, send him to any environment. Yeah, but send him to the same environment where they do that shit.
So just have a bunch of let a bunch of other people.
No, it's not. That's not the same way. It's not about that, because in that environment you understand structure and you understand respect and you start to understand, how men in that lot behave or young adults behave in that lot and how they should be structured in a healthy environment where it's a controlled environment, like boxing, MMA, the gym in that lot, which we all have amazing fucking mentors in. I don't know if you've been to any, but I definitely straightened me out when I was a fucking problem. I got sent to bad boys school because you just trying to fucking tell me this is the stuff you're taking off me and there's consequences. I did not give a fuck. But when I got put into that environment, I started to learn what earning respect was and developing that kind of self-confidence and respect for myself. But that's about being around that kind of controlled environment. And of course the parents are just not in a situation where they're not even involved. Of course they're always down there all the time and they're keen on working with people, but sometimes parents need help and it takes a village.
It does take a village, and even his family members are, part of this as well. They're the one who gave me the idea for the.
I'm not against
higher.
I'm not against utilising exercise or putting somebody in a structured environment, as well as going to a fucking therapist.
Amender, I do.
As well as going to one.
There's times kids will not talk. Like when my mom lugged me to therapy from like 11 to 15 because of a lot of shit that I was going through and shit. I didn't talk to that therapist. I did not.
Have you
I didn't
tried
want to.
Googling? Like, have you just tried Googling what therapists are saying? Like, I'm on a therapist website right now trying to see how to discipline a teenager, and none of it involves. It says, I actually linked a part where it says, punishment can inadvertently convey conditional love. Teens may feel that their parents' affection is contingent upon the teen's actions and behaviors, which hinders their emotional development. Ultimately, punishment does not provide teenagers with a positive motivation to change. It only offers them avoidance of pain and incentive rather than fostering intrinsic growth. You gotta lecture the fuck out of them. That's what this entire thing is saying. You gotta lecture them.
Basically describing me. You know what I mean? In that sense.
Yeah, sit down and
So in
talk.
that sense, I needed to go to a separate environment, and I went to a separate environment on my own accord, and in that environment I got the things that I needed in that structured environment. Now,
just
for me, that was MMA. In another environment, it could be anything else. You know what I mean?
You guys
Different
see
kids
my
respond
stream,
differently
right?
to different things, right?
There you go.
The environment is going to be outside in the parking lot, flipping a tire.
Dude, they haven't even done anything wrong, and you're already thinking about what cruel punishment you have to put on the child. You're out of your fucking mind,
that I am
dude.
finding the most weird, honest. Like in this whole
No, it's
situation.
not.
Yeah,
Okay.
it kinda is.
You're like
I'm looking at
imagining
3
what
sources
could
that say don't do
potentially-
that.
It gives an impression that this is. It gives an impression that this stuff has escalated to where you're starting to escalate your idea of punishment. That is a fair point.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it's the fear of the unknown. Like, damn, he made me do this.
But mate, fear is temporary. At some point, something else is going to take it.
He's gonna get over it.
A child made you what?
No, like my dad made me, fuck. Last time I fucked up, I had to sit
Dad
here
made
and on
you
the wall and
fuck?
hold this heavy ass box. Like, what do I have to say? Like, if you fuck up again, it's gonna be even worse. Like, damn, what is it gonna be? And
That's
like I
not
said,
how it
he
should
blew
be.
Away with it.
Yeah, psychological
I'm
games,
kind
not
of glad I
violence.
agree with Commander. It doesn't need to be an escalation of punishment for each mistake or instance.
It's not necessarily escalation, but I'm not going to repeat the same one because kids get used to it eventually. Eventually, it's just like, oh, okay, you're going to make me sit on the wall and hold the box every time I do something wrong? Well, I'm used to that. Like, no, next time it's going to be something different. Like, you're not going to get comfortable.
You're out of your fucking mind.
I think the day he's
I just think,
extremely
my personal opinion.
Send the kid to like military school or something.
My personal opinion about this
You're
is
12.
like we always try.
It's a 12-year-old. What do you mean
That's the
military
point.
school?
I mean, in comparison to that example.
Stupid.
Well, I could just send them to military school. They're going to do to them there.
It's like I'm fucking sitting here with a bunch of fucking cavemen fucking sitting there picking their nose, and I'm like, no, take care of the child, and they're like, no, we can make him roll a tire around.
military school. What's wrong with that?
I would say make him do chores for for his grandma, your mother, for like a full 3
There
months.
you go. There you
For full 3
go.
months.
You already did
There
that
you
already.
Well, I don't know about 3 months, but Jesus
Do it
fuck.
for a year, 3 years straight.
Spend some time with grandma.
No, not even just that. Yep, like the upholstery, the curtains, everything.
Grandma is important.
We did.
We
spend
love
some time with
grandma.
Grandma.
Grandma is
He
your
threw rocks at her.
family. Nothing is more important than family. Your friends will
Yes.
come and go, but your family will not go. Your
Yes, and
grandma
this is
will
why
take
the
care of
Definitely
you.
up the
Be
experience.
with your grandma.
Not sure at all.
Spend
Can't
some
really-
time with her.
That was the
That's a good example of like a potential thing that could help remove that kind of
Fuck
like,
out.
throwing rocks at grandma.
You
I
know
would
he
monitor
spends time with
both
my
of them.
grandparents. He spends time with his grandparents every single day.
I'm
You know
just-
that, right?
Yeah, I'm just suggesting things that you can do to help alleviate these kinds of behaviors, right?
I did.
Establishing
He
a
didn't
good
repeat the
relationship
same
with
thing.
grandma will cause him to no longer throw rocks
Amender,
at grandma.
you want to know what happened when I called my parents and said, "Hey, how's he doing today?" Oh, he's been an angel. He hasn't done anything wrong.
Yeah, okay.
Does it also-
So
he's
you're
learned his lesson.
acting again. Like
Yeah,
you're
he's learned his lesson.
instilling corporal punishment, which is
Bro.
going to
My bad,
increase
my
his
bad.
aggression.
Sorry, my
It's
bad.
not going to go away.
Scared me.
Making him wall sit and hold a box or flip a tire is going to
fucking-
increase aggression.
I'm pointing out to you how every single expert disagrees with you. And I am
Experts.
pointing out to you that there are things that you can do to help mitigate harm and to help mitigate the bad behavior. But your dumbass is sitting there with your fucking knuckle
Whoa,
right
what
into
did I
your
come back
fucking
to?
nose
Jesus
to the
Christ.
point that you
Hey,
can't
hey,
even
hey, no ad
fucking
homs.
think. I don't
ad
care. I don't care. You're harming a child. I don't
We'll be
care
harming a
about ad
child.
homs for this.
We'll be
I don't care.
harming a child.
Look,
Dude, Amanda, calm down. Take yourself off the bench real quick, okay? Or bench yourself, whatever. Just calm the fuck down.
There's no harm. It's exercise.
what? It's not.
Exactly, Amanda. Calm down, bro.
Yeah, you're
It's
taking
a
this out of
mild
proportion. I
punishment.
think you need to just relax.
Honestly,
Play it
Amanda,
down.
Once you have
don't take
forced
don't take it
exercise
that
can be looked
personally,
at
bro.
as
Don't take it that personally.
Discipline.
Man, talk about
Exercise can be looked at
trauma.
as good discipline too. That's the thing about
Exactly.
exercise. You gotta work them out just enough. You can't overexert them though.
Exactly. That's why I asked.
It's a failure.
Not
So it's a failure.
in the context of how it's phrased.
50 pounds, but to failure.
you can't acknowledge. You would have to acknowledge it. There is a
Why
line
do
where
you
it
think
could
that they are
cross the
acting in such
threshold
a way?
into discipline being
Why-
a little more than
Why are
that.
they? Why are they?
I mean, yeah,
why are they
there's that.
behaving in such a way?
Uh,
Ask yourself that.
No, I need to make a point. So, when you said structure needs discipline, structure makes discipline when it's aimed for a goal, not for a punishment. I train day after day to get better, let's say at running, to do a 5k in under 20 minutes. Not
We're
because
not talking about those.
That's-
We're not talking about that. We're talking about
So that's self-prescribed.
It doesn't
We're
make
talking
any
about-
sense.
We're talking about discipline to a child who has acted
Psychologist
out.
disagrees with you.
Ask yourself this: why are they behaving in that way?
Could be a million other things. It's unpredictable. There
Why
is
do
no
you think they're
specific.
behaving that way? Yeah, well, I mean, like, it is true that children are unreasoning, right? And that's because, their reasoning
They're
portion
terror.
of
I
their
don't
brain.
negotiate with terrorists. I don't negotiate with
we're not
terrorists.
negotiating. There is no negotiation.
Not a terrorist. Gross.
You don't negotiate with terrorists.
You can reduce the harm.
See
can
the
reduce
connection now.
the bad action from happening without abusing your child. It can be done. You don't need to come up with creative punishment. What I find so concerning
Dude, this
about
isn't
this
abuse or
American
torture.
is that the child hasn't even done anything, and you're already thinking about buying a heavy tire to force them to go up and down a fucking street. Do you understand how ridiculous that is?
Oh, this is why I'm happy to accept my nephew's
Hold on,
He didn't like it, but he made a couple of friends.
with your
The
partner.
by the way, just for anybody who's not aware, the grandma thing was way before there was already a fucking punishment for that. I'm saying American is now coming up with a completely separate punishment when the child hasn't even done anything. They haven't done anything wrong, and he's already thinking about it. Sadist towards your child.
No, it's called being
This is not
No, it's called
punishment.
A little bit violence comes with
I
character.
think if you're in your back room coming up with new imaginative ways to punish your child for when you expect him to fuck up in the future, that is a little fucked up.
No, it's not.
It's not just
I'm
little,
being
it's
proactive.
fucked up.
It's like,
He's there in the back of his fucking bedroom on his got a piece of paper,
Well, that's fair.
sketching out fucking torture devices. What we're going to do next? Are we going to fucking put him on the Spanish donkey, or are we going to fucking waterboard him?
does he do anything outside the school? Like, does he skate? Does he does he do anything at the moment? He's got a separate social circle from his family as well as his fucking school life. That's his.
I mean, I would like to say something.
That's always healthy in my opinion.
My personal opinion is that we try to generalize something, while every human is individual different. And I agree, that corporal punishment may not be good, but in the end, for some people it works, while for the most people maybe it doesn't work. Or for the almost people.
What does it mean to work? Because they don't do the
actually addressing the root behavior.
Take me as an example, and my sister. My sister, you never need corporal punishment because when she was doing something wrong and you called her out for it, she directly will going into a submissive position and directly were going oh sorry, I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. She was never questioning anything. When you're doing it with me, I would tell you in your face, fuck yourself, as a child. I would like, my mother and father, they grounded me when I was 15. I was going out of the window and crawling down the garage, roof. It was like, no chance. There were no chance to stop me. At the moment after I understood they can't hurt me, because it's against the law, I was free. I was doing what I want.
I really like that line of yours. When I was a child, I'd say, "Fuck yourself."
Again, this is not what the reality of any child psychologist. By the way, right? Just so you know, right? I love the argument here. It's like, you sound like you don't have children. Hey, guess what? Did you know that you can actually read about how to take care of children without having children? The next thing that you could also point out is that there were tons of parents. There were parents of 4, parents of 3, they sit in there and they're agreeing with me. What the fuck?
It doesn't take a mini amender to know that you're taking this way out of proportion.
No, I'm not taking this way out of proportion.
You are.
I find it bizarre to come up with some weird corporal punishment that doesn't actually have any efficacy in working. And the whole point why you make a punishment to begin with isn't to get some weird satisfaction of revenge or retribution towards your child. The point of a punishment is to make sure your child doesn't do it again. That's why you
said that he was getting any satisfaction out of punishing his child.
Yeah, this is purely for discipline.
I think he's hoping after flipping the tire, you'd be done doing what he's doing.
Think about what the punishment's going to be, right? You can't just miraculously make a punishment.
What? No, what? So why don't you go ahead and make your little weird torture list on how to torture children. Meanwhile, I'm gonna look at a psychology book and parental guidance books.
Amender, apparently we did not hear that the fact that he said.
Amender, here's the thing. I'm a parent of 4 as well, you know.
I was going to ask you how you handle it.
I don't think having your child do some sort of physical activity, even as a consequence,
never said
is
that.
going to do some ultimate harm. I'm with you
never
on the,
said that.
Getting a 50-pound tire and having him flip it. This pre-planning, this premeditation of it. This is the weird part for me. I guess I'm more spur of the moment uniqueness in my punishments for my kids, but
No, we didn't bomb flip. Everybody just went to the same place.
But I don't think him flipping a tire is the worst punishment he could ever. That's not going to be the physical abuse of actually physically putting your hands on something.
Listen, if you just go outside and tell your kid to flip this fucking tire and then you go inside,
I used to have to mow the lawn.
I can get how you would have contempt.
Well, hold on. Those are
Texas summers.
Yeah, but that's hard work. But that's not going to cause any lasting damage, right? But I could at least.
What about you're at home? You point at the tire and you say, "If you fuck up, this is what you'll do."
Put yourself in the perspective of I'm literally talking. Put yourself in the perspective of the child. The reality is that when they're going to be sitting there lugging that tire around back and forth, they're going to be like, okay, well, when's this over? I'm hot. This motherfucker is forcing me to do this. Fuck this guy. This guy sucks.
You forget we were those
You're ruminating in your thoughts.
And hell, honey, even I was like that even when I just got grounded to my room without TV.
And then you grow up.
It's kind of one of those things. Yeah, years later you look back and you're like, I hate my dad, but I see why he did it.
We were all kids once when we got
He was trying to better me. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, that is entirely dependent on how severe punishments are. I promise you. The higher the
That
probability.
is true. It's situational for sure.
Hating you. Right? I have family members where because the punishments were so bizarre, it made me hate that person. I don't want anything to do with that person. I want them away from my life. I don't answer the phone. They sit there, they want to talk to me. I don't want to talk to them. I don't want anything
Starting
to do
to charge me rent did that. I wanted to get out ASAP, but looking back, I realized it was a good push.
One of those was. You never gave us an example, Amender, of what one of those bizarre punishments was. You keep saying.
You're mainly talking about the tire one.
One that's not too personal that probably got, bizarre. Just give us one that you are comfortable with.
Okay, so I don't know about Amender, but I know that my dad had a very similar situation with his stepmom, and I can give you an example of her punishments of my dad. She would lock him in a closet for days. There was one time that he was forced to that was so so salty it made him throw up, and when he threw up, she made him eat his own vomit. So there are really fucking evil.
Damn,
fucking
dude, that's some
people.
shit to go to jail for right there. Fuck that.
That is fucked. That is fucked. That is fucked.
That is there.
Get the shit kicked out of me because I let the shit got kicked out of me. Do you know what I mean? That's the kind of guy I got raised with. It's like the guy you can go up to and say, Dad, like, you know, someone just beat me up in the fucking playground and that lot. Because you get a crack for fucking not standing up for yourself. That's the fucked up shit I had to have.
Right.
That in comparison to me getting cracked behind the legs by my angriest Catholic grandmother pales in comparison. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I'd rather do the physical punishment out of love, you know, to do it to teach a lesson than rather than learn.
You're kind of laggy.
You have to. If you're gonna punish, you've got to punish. It's not just to make sure they don't do it again, but to make sure that they understand the reason why they shouldn't do those actions. That's the whole point.
It is true that by having these types of physical punishments, i.e., spanking, the big issue is that it is found that this increases aggression over time. Yeah, I am aware it's not. I'm saying the child is now already behaving in such a way where they are throwing rocks.
Yeah.
So the problem is that I warned American about this years back, talking about this very problem. It's going to increase aggression, and it's already coming out.
Hold on. I want to say something. First of all, you don't need to be warning a parent about how to discipline their child. That's your first mistake. Keep going.
What? I'm saying that's wrong. You shouldn't do that. Like, do you think I can't give any advice to somebody? Obviously, I can't tell Americans what they can and can't do.
Hold on. Amender, I haven't even been in this server for over a year, so you can't say
So a year.
Not even a full year. Not even. Like, I've been here maybe 8
Months ago.
Yeah, month. Wow, months. Yeah, my kid's been.
Last time I checked, you were spanking your kid. You were talking about.
Last time I checked, you don't even need to tell anybody or warn anybody about how to discipline their child. You need to stop with that. You're making.
What is the wrong color?
But I think people can
I'm not
talk
gonna
about
stand
whatever they want
there
to
while
talk
some
about,
guy's kicking his kid in the fucking teeth in the middle of the supermarket and go, "Oh, it's not my kid. I'm not gonna fight it. I'm gonna have something to fucking say."
Like, obviously, it's silly. That's a silly thing. Obviously, it's silly.
It's another parent how
Yeah,
to
but it's
discipline
all a generalized statement to say somebody the first mistake you made is to tell a parent that they're wrong is a bit of an asinine statement.
How about you don't come up with discipline abusing the child, actual abuse, then discipline actions.
Right.
Yeah, but why can't we tell? I was asked you earlier, Secret, when I was saying, I was like, what do you think would be too? Because I don't want, like I said, I don't want to hurt the kid. I want to know what do you think would be like too heavy? What would be too heavy?
Do that. Sit your child down. Sit your child down.
No, because he can hold 25 pounds. He can hold 25 pounds above his head.
Genuinely sitting down and talking does
really. Like,
sitting down and talking does a whole lot more.
And they're all very different. Like, honestly.
What's wrong with you? We're
Your
not
own
cavemen.
children versus other people's children.
We're not cavemen.
Yeah, but even his children are going to be different. You know, if he's got multiple, that's what I'm saying. Each child is different.
I have one.
Okay. You have one. Okay. I didn't know.
Like I said, he could hold a 25. I mean, he was holding a 25-pound box above his head while he was doing the wall squats just perfectly fine. So I think a 25.
Yeah, how they were doing wall squats.
But it's the movement that will also wear him out. It's not just the fact that it's heavy.
Again, it's not the whole point. You're not just supposed to make them suffer. You're supposed to let them know why they shouldn't be doing what they're doing. It's really the whole point.
That's exactly what he's telling.
That can
They
be
do know why they're doing it.
but I don't think making them work physically is going to hurt them. Like I said,
Completely agree.
But again, you're missing the whole point of this.
Sounds like he's lined up to be one of those like buffed out bros.
Punishment in itself isn't even necessarily.
I'm just here going to point out exactly as it is, as I see it. Right?
Okay,
If you don't like the
Amender,
position, like
Amender,
I think it's a
here's the thing.
completely reasonable position.
Amender and Peterson's
I think
point.
the
So one of the
punishment is
things that you're not
completely
taking
reasonable.
into hold on. I'm gonna actually defend you, American.
On that note, fuck Christianity.
I will. Well, here's one of the.
No, fuck Christianity.
Let her speak. Let her speak. Let her speak.
Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Okay, so one of the reasons that I would agree with the tire situation or mowing the lawn, cleaning windows, doing some sort of physical is because kids have a lot of energy. Sometimes what gets kids into trouble is the fact that they have all of this energy to burn and nowhere to put it.
Thank you.
Like I just.
They need structure.
To
clarify, I'm not saying that you shouldn't, tell your child to go mow a lawn if they do something bad. But you don't just tell them, oh, go mow the lawn. You have to explain to them why they shouldn't be doing the thing that they did. That's the point.
Well, I'm pretty sure before he says flip this tire, he's gonna say this is why you're doing it. I'm sure he's gonna at least do that.
That's not what I'm saying. Nothing. Well, you did this bad thing, so flip a tire. It's explaining them why they should.
Yeah, explain why it's bad. Yeah, exactly. 100.
Yes.
That conversation should not go past.
That does happen.
Yes, that does happen. It's not just, oh, go flip the tire. No, the talk happens before and after. Like, okay, now after you've done this, how do you feel? Okay, oh, my arms hurt. Yeah. Okay, how do you think Grandma felt when you were throwing the rocks at her? Or if that were to happen again. What I mean?
Fine. Maybe like a style of punishment to put it in perspective.
Or should I throw rocks at him instead?
just throw tennis balls and be like, now imagine them being rocks. No.
Dude, hold on.
Not doing anything outside the school. He's just find him an activity he's going to be doing outside the school until he can come up with something he's into.
Listen, man, I'm just gonna say I'm grateful that my mom didn't throw me in the washing machine because of how annoying I was.
Oddly specific.
Because she did it to my brothers. She didn't do it to me. No.
Do you know how you know you're not the favourite two brothers? If your brother's called Christian and your name is Ian, which is just the last 3 letters of your brother's name, that makes you fucking know that you're the mistake.
I would find a way to make that shit fun.
Do you know what I mean? You're not even trying.
It was annoying. I was so fucking annoying that if I was my dad, I would probably literally bury myself.
My mother would have beaten the brakes off of me if I was the one throwing rocks at my grandmother.
My grandma would have beat the rocks.
I think it was more of a accidental reflex, but I was like 14, first time cussed around my dad saying fuck, and I got back.
And then I would have got it from my mama, so yeah, I'd have got twice that.
So basically, this PC is full of people with daddy and mommy issues. Got it.
Yes.
Oh yeah. You know what day and age we all are?
Your game as well.
Unless it doesn't have something.
Oh shit! Sorry about that, Miz.
Fuck you,
Thanks for making us feel ashamed for sharing. This conversation actually got to a point we're going to talk, and so an obnoxious prick had to step in the room, and it wasn't even me this time.
That's fucking hilarious. Who's the obnoxious prick? Wait, I think it was a Mender.
Yeah, no, see, a Mender thinks that I'm going to make
it's a Mender.
What?
I have a question for Mender. I have a question for Mender. You said your stepmom was spanking you, right?
No.
Whatever, dude.
Why are you thinking that, Magnus?
He's getting horny. He's getting horny.
Making you touch the bug zapper?
No. I got the thought, maybe because of his spanking he became a furry, but.
Oh wow!
What?
Oh fuck off!
And I think it would have had something more to do with leashes. Anyways.
Oh no, that was Husk. He texted me one day talking about, hey, you want to help me browse for color?
What the fuck?
My mom slapped me twice in my life, and all the times I totally deserved it.
That's Stockholm syndrome.
No, I can think of a time that I got my ass beat.
Quick. She were really
punch your children, am I right?
No, she were quick. She were not like that. I did something wrong, and she came 15 minutes later to me and gave me a slap. It was directly in the moment I did it, like seconds after.
Yeah, that's how you got to do it. You got to make sure they don't.
I never did it again. I mean, that were not hard slaps, you know, not hard slapping, not hard ones.
It's just enough to pause you in your brakes.
Yeah,
Did you get hard?
Thank you very much.
Pause you and break.
I mean, I told my mother to go fuck herself when my dad smacked me in the face, and I never would say something like that to my mother again. So.
I mean, I
was in the moment you knew you were wrong when you said it. So.
I was 12 years old and I learned a new word in school. It was called older, and we were using that in Germany, like to describe body, like to talk to other people, like calling them older, like or something. And in German it sounds like Alter, and it's extremely unpolite. It's extremely unpolite to call someone that way. And I was doing that to my father, and I was doing it again and again and again and again, and he said like, do it once more. And I was doing it again, and he said once more. And after the third time, once more, he gave me a slap. I never did it again. That was the biggest slap I ever got in my life.
We also get tested.
I was kissing the ground after that.
Sounds like it was a success.
I think it's something to say for when you know what you've just said was wrong, and then you get punished for it. You're like, yeah, I deserve that.
How old were you guys when that happened? Because I also think there's a pretty big distinction between like smacking a 9-year-old and smacking a 16-year-old.
Oh, I was like 10 years old when I did it, but I was a shit child. I mean, I was.
But he was also kicking me when I was 14 because I was threatening him.
Oh, kicking? What the fuck?
Yeah,
I don't know why that comes off a little differently.
He was kicking me from behind in my balls while I was walking.
What the fuck are you talking about?
What?
From behind in the balls?
I missed a step somewhere.
On the source of the
had you on the ground, stomping on your junk.
I was threatening him that when he's getting drunk again and hurt mom again while he's drunk, I'm gonna kill him.
Well, that's good. That's a different story. That's
shit's a little more intense there than a normal raising right there, yeah.
That's understandable.
Yeah,
I was beating your mom.
You're arguing for raising by hazing, you know what I mean? There is an escalation.
My father was an alcoholic, and when he would get drunk, he was really getting really angry, and he was sometimes slapping my mom, sometimes slapping me when I was going between them.
Oh yeah, then I got older.
So you drink and get a little slappy.
I think we should all one by one.
Except when I was getting old enough to resist, you know, when I was catching his hand while it was going towards my face.
He's like, shit, the kid's got reflexes now.
I think when I was like 16, I was probably 14 when I was older, bigger than my dad, and I knew that there was nothing you could do to me. Go ahead, do something. And it got to the point where my dad and I went to blows.
My father was way bigger than me. But the thing is just, you know, like he stopped drinking when I was like 13, 14 around that. He stopped completely drinking and smoking on the same time. And
me, like when I got the same side, I became the same side, or like my mom is like 4 foot deep.
See, it was only difficult. It was only difficult when he was drunk. Like when he was not drunk, he was one of the nicest person,
I'm sure.
W, I gotta mute you, man. Your mic's like doing something.
But when he was drinking, he was getting angry.
My mic. What do you mean my mic? So like even though when I realized I was big enough to you know, probably like, you know, fight my parents, I don't know, I just have a level of respect for my parents where I wouldn't like it wouldn't dare cross my mind that like, oh, I fucked up and, you know, so I'm gonna be prepared to fight my dad because he's gonna fucking, you know, hit me or something. Like, no, I would never want to fight my parents.
Well, did your dad kick you in the balls from behind?
No, he would. If I talked back, he'd smack me across the face. I mean, like I said, spankings when I was younger with the belt. You know, mom would always grab kitchen utensils. But once it got to a certain age, pretty much I was just like my dad would just slap me across the face. Like if he was talking to me and I interrupted, like even just for a second, then I'll be like, damn, all right, I'm gonna shut up.
I mean, I remember I didn't know that about my dad was also driving. He was also drunk driving when we were younger, and like when we were like little toddlers, he was like drunk and driving while we were at the back seats.
Yeah, I don't know. I think for myself, I mean, like I said, I was a terrible child. I got to the age where I realized there's nothing anybody can do to me. What are they going to do? Ground me, spank me? Okay.
Yeah,
and
bro,
then I got to the point where I was like, all right, put your hands on me, see what's going to happen.
When I was 15, I understood like they can't really punish me. When they take up the internet, I take it in. When they take my PlayStation 2, I take it back. What they want to do.
I was a terrible, I mean, I was a terrible child. I was like, yeah, good luck.
After my father stopped drinking, he was not violent anymore, and...
Damn it.
You know, and then I got to the age where I was like, all right, cool, my dad's going to hit me, watch this. I'm going to hit you back.
Yeah, my dad would
That's how
clock
it
my
goes.
I would I could never imagine.
Oh, a bunch of broken people. Crazy.
At least if you're raising like a masculine, physically capable son, I would say probably stay away from turning exercise into a punishment, because one, that could actually like incentivize weight gain later in life if they become really stressed, and then two, he might get strong enough to beat the fuck out of you.
From exercise?
That's what I'm afraid of.
No, if you make exercise traumatic to the point where every time they go to the gym, they're like, I remember when my dad used to punish me by making me do X. If they ever reach a point in their life where they pick up some more maladaptive shit and they're going through a lot of stresses, they might stop working out. So like, you have to really think about psychology.
Bro, it's
no,
just...
it's like no different than your sports coach.
I mean,
different than your sports coach is like...
Punish. Don't ever.
I need to
don't ever
defend
think
my
about
father a
any
little bit. He was
implications.
born.
Just
my father was born 1 year.
Better
my
order
father
that
was
tire.
born
Order
1 year
two.
after the Great War.
Amanda, when we were kids playing basketball, if we lost a game, we would have to run suicides for a long time just for losing the game in the sport by our coach.
Fuck that
shit.
Yeah, but you choose to play basketball.
But do you think my abuse yes or no? Is it abuse yes or no?
My father was born 1 year after the Great War, and like 1946, and he told me like back then in school they got, they had a teacher like with using a stick, and when they had like in the morning they had to stand in line and show their fingers, and the one with dirty fingers got on their fingers.
What was the name of the stick?
Paddle.
No, the German name was that it?
Planky. Plank.
Yeah.
Oh no, not plank.
The teachers were in my flipping, what is it? In my dad's day, they just throw fucking erasers at your head. The wooden ones are used fucking with the little pads on to get off the chalkboards. Yeah, they used to be twats like that. I don't agree with them.
I mean, I remember they couldn't.
Something really fucked up about paddling a child too. You know what I mean? It's like. Don't want that.
They couldn't be fucking soy boys. My father would tell me when they grew up, like they were freezing in winter. They were like training like cigarettes for like potatoes. They were with the soldiers. They were like literally. They were not even a fucking toilet in the house. The toilet was outside, and they were cleaning their asses with used newspaper.
So it was an outhouse.
Yeah, so like after all of the things I endured from corporal punishment from my parents, like I never resented them enough to like I'm gonna beat my dad's ass. Like I never ever had those thoughts ever. I never had that resentment because why? I knew everything that I fucking did. And every discipline and punishment I got was well deserved. And anyone says, "Oh, stop calling things
I mean, I knew it was well deserved. It doesn't mean I didn't want to fucking want to stop.
I would consider you also were pretty submissive and a fucking soy boy that you never resisted.
Yeah, he's definitely not a soy boy.
Okay. What
called respect? I respect my parents. I respect my parents.
Okay, so let me ask you this. You're in the army, right?
Like
You're in the army. You fucked up something, right? That might ended up costing your job in the army, right? So say you're a mechanic, right? And you fucked up a job, and then something happens in the field, the car doesn't work, and then that puts risk to not only you, or not you. Not only to the driver, but to the soldiers he's transporting, and you could be in the middle of enemy territory.
Oh,
what do you think is going to happen? Because since you personally were doing a job,
I wouldn't use that analogy. I mean, you can't really compare a child to a soldier.
But I'm talking about punishment. But we're talking about punishment. We're talking about punishment. All right, we're just gonna go with punishment, right? Punishment. Just punishment.
That's
What happens,
the way, you know,
what happens if it's not off with the road stuff there?
I can't hear two people at once. What the fuck?
Yeah, the way we
haven't learned to do that yet?
It was different than what you do as a child, and then also the way we were, you know, the army I grew up in has changed because they found that the punishments that they were receiving were just overboard.
Right, because giving stress cards makes it all better.
How do you call in English like the punishment that the whole truth is getting for someone did something wrong but everyone get punished? How do you call that in English?
Collective punishment.
I don't know, we just call it fucking, you all fucked up, or one of you fucked up, so you're all getting fucked up.
Yeah, it's called collective
punishment. And they made it illegal. They made it illegal in the German army around 2000. But I was serving 2010. Do you think my officers gave a fucking shit about that collective punishment is illegal? If someone fucked up, someone fucked up, we all got punished. We all got punished.
In 2006, and in 2007 they changed that. Nobody gave a shit. Still did it.
Hey, Brad, what is wall-to-wall counseling in the army?
Wall-to-wall. We used to call it a smoke session.
Oh fuck!
I remember we were like, someone were like, we had like one of these. We had one of these bureaucratic days. We had one of these bureaucratic days in winter where like we couldn't do shit because the officers were like doing all the bureaucracy shit. So we had to chill around. And, like it's not allowed to sleep while you're serving. But some people decided just like to give a fucking sleep. And so our officers decided, no matter what could happen, we're carrying on right now. We're gonna go like running outside, like by -10 degrees Celsius, and we're going like for a run for like 10 miles, and as punishment, and everyone like they were currently wearing their hats so weird. They were wearing only a shirt. They had to still only wear a shirt.
Oh,
fuck! We were like wearing like me. We were like wearing the winter clothes. It was pretty warm, bro. I was sweating. I was as hell.
Yeah, and then we knew, you know. But that was to instill in you that if one person fucks up, you all fuck up. So make sure that person doesn't fuck up.
That's how you keep up there.
So if you're going to make a kid toss a tyre, you toss another tyre with him and you make sure that you understand.
One guy in our unit,
fucking it together.
we had one guy in our unit who regularly fucked up, and this motherfucker had so much fucking luck because we were already prepared. Everyone had it sucked and sick, and we wanted to visit him at night, but the problem was he was going home because he was sick.
Well, yeah, it's just like the whole thing with kids, you know, they're like, well, that one started, I don't give a